me see it, Marcus. Come on, you ain't that big boy. You ain't that big shit.
Routine though. You do this every time?
This is routine. No warm up.
No warm up.
Hey! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. People that want to work on lockout do 6-inch fucking block pulls. Yes. Work on glutes. Yeah.
HuskyBoyBarbenders.
I'm drunk, I'm rich, I'm flexing, ain't that a bitch? I'm drunk, I'm rich, I'm flexing, ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Bitches all on my jock, they want my dang-a-line, swinging all on my nuts like an orangutan. $500,000 car, $500,000.
Y'all know what it is. Raw and Uncut. Tell you what's up. You lifted with the Husky motherfucking barbenders. Bending some bars. What? Tell them what we did today, Bruce.
We did five sets of doubles.
Y'all can tell my voice feel better, right?
We did 5 sets of doubles and 4 or 5 sets of block pulls.
Yeah, that was some fun shit too. Some fun shit. Fuck that shit though. Bruce, tell them the topic of the day.
The topic of the day is...
Y'all ready for this shit?
Gearing your training
towards your meets.
Towards your meets. How to lift so that when you go to meet, you don't get messed up by like a supposed quote unquote bad call or anything like that.
Yeah, you know.
Or by the standards that you have to lift. So if you know anything about powerlifting meet, which you should. If you don't, that's okay. If you know anything about powerlifting meet,
there's rules.
There's rules.
So that everybody has an equal chance to lift some heavy weight.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, you know, let's put it to you this way real quick. If you knew that on Friday night, football was played with 11 men on the field, you had offense and defense, all that shit. But y'all practiced with 20 men on the field. Would that shit not affect how y'all played on Friday? So why, in the powerlifting community, do y'all feel that it's okay to break knees, to throw bench, and to squat above parallel regularly in training,
and then expect yourself to be able to perform?
Yeah, expect not to fuck up. Expect to just be able to train into it, my nigga. What if you have a shitty month like we've had? We have had at most 2 weeks to prep for our meet.
In the past 2 months.
In the past, yeah. Like every time, I swear we've had weeks go by where we couldn't go to the gym. So what would y'all have did then? Y'all need to train like you're gonna perform. That's why Coach always hated Friday Night Lights niggas. He was like, if you can't show me in practice, you ain't gonna play on the field. It's the same shit in powerlifting. If you don't do it in your training, you're less likely, if something goes wrong, you're less likely to do it. If you train yourself to do it, it's going to be better. So go ahead and give an example, Ruth.
All right, so let's start with the bench, because I guess bench is the most fun.
And I hate y'all niggas disrespecting my bench. Go ahead, Bruce.
whoever disrespected it, I wasn't there for that. But,
I'm sorry, Bruce, but I hate people that don't pause on bench. I hate that shit. I hate people that don't bench properly.
All right, so here's an example.
I hate people that use wrist wraps at 198 and are only benching 250. Y'all some pussy niggas. But anyway, go ahead, Bruce.
Okay. So here's an example of how to train in the gym so that when you get to competition, you're not shell shocked by the differences. So, one trick on bench is during your pause reps.
Pause.
Go ahead. You're excited.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I'm excited. Go on somebody else's motherfucking command.
So what does that mean, Thomas?
That means that if you do like max shooting and you don't truly pause like a competition pause.
Oh, Lord.
You bring in your friend, Joe Schmo.
Oh, I know.
And you say, Joe, just tell me when to bench. And, you know, Joe, he's like smoking a cigar. She's like, all right, Max. He makes you sit there for 10 minutes. But at least you will be able to explode out of the bottom.
Yeah, you'll never have the excuse that a judge made you wait too long.
And for people that don't have a partner, honestly, you should be able to mentally do this yourself. No matter if the weight's heavy or whatever, you have to be strict to this. You give yourself like a 3 count. Well, not necessarily a 3, maybe like a 2 count.
Yeah, and what Tom means is like 1, 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so you know, you bring the weight down, you put it in your chest, 1, 2, and then you push it back up. You know, or if you're just somebody that naturally pauses long, like me and Bruce, then you don't have that problem. But those are ways that you can do it yourself, like. You know, if you know you're going to... Now, you don't necessarily have to pause bench all the time. Some people say it helps, but we don't necessarily do that. But we're saying that if you're going to pause bench, make sure you're pause benching competitively. Treat it like a meet. That way, when you get to the meet, if the judges are like, all right, you know, they make you pause like 4 seconds, you'll be fine.
I'm going to make you fall asleep before you bench this.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what were we doing again? But yeah, like, you know, it's just train like you're gonna lift. I don't get what's so wrong with that.
And never in the gym. You should always save trying to cheat for weight for the competition.
Yeah.
Never do that in the gym because you're just fooling yourself.
Because if you get away with it in competition, that ain't your fault. That's the judge's fault.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, if you're in the gym, you're just cheating yourself out of your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you if you're trying to find ways to get weight, or if you're trying to say, well, you know, it's not going to affect me that much. Like, what's the point of that? Why not train to perfection? That way, when you get to competition and you screw up, your screw up is good. That's why we squat deep. If you squat deep and you screw up, you're still going to be under parallel or at parallel. And we understand. Now, it's hard for taller people or people with bad joints or whatever to get low. But if Brandon motherfucking Campbell can get under parallel, y'all niggas can do that shit, because Brandon, I swear, has had the hardest time getting below parallel, and he can still do it.
And his hamstrings, even on a high bar squat, his hamstrings touch his calves, and he still doesn't even really look that low.
Exactly. And so, you know, it may take a little bit extra work, but if you're gonna be competing in the IPF, you got to work on that squat. You got to go ahead and start learning to get deeper, way ahead, because squatting deeper than normal is very, very hard to do, especially if you're low bar, and that shit'll throw you all out of line. So it's like you gotta really start prepping for things way early. If you're not gonna listen to us, ignore us and shit, at least remember this: if you're gonna start prepping for competition, do it like 2-3 months out. That way you can let your body adjust to the style of your lifting.
Yeah.
Like, you may not necessarily be prepping in terms of trying to peak, but at least prep in terms of your form and things like that. But what about squats, Bruce? What should they fix on their squats?
So on squat, you should always be doing, and this is really the only thing people get called on, is
what is it, Bruce?
Going below parallel.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
it, yeah.
it's just what we were talking about. So
Also, one thing that got me, which shouldn't have, but it did.
Rookie mistakes.
Rookie mistakes. If you really, this is only gonna happen to you on your first time, because this is the only way you would be able to fall for. I guess not fall for it, because it's not a trick. This is the only way you would be able to.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah. Before competition, make sure that you lift off of another person's command as well. So what they're gonna tell you at competition?
Oh, for squat, that's definitely gotta be.
They're gonna tell you, squat and rack. What I did, and that was really dumb, at my competition, is I racked it before I got the rack call, so I got my squat scratched. Don't let some dumb crap happen to you. Get a PR and then it doesn't count just because you racked it too early.
Yeah.
So
that's mental thing.
Yeah, make sure you go off someone else's command, and that's just a dumb mistake. Nope. I swear I'm the only one who did that.
Yeah.
Other than the only thing dumber was that Luther training put chalk on his legs before he deadlifted. Yeah,
we didn't do that shit. What about, all right, real quick, what about deadlift? I mean, deadlift, I guess just go off of the commit, or make sure you work on your lockout so you don't hit. And then 2, you make sure you don't just drop the weight, because that's what I was used to doing about a month out. Go ahead.
On deadlift, make sure you follow the. One thing I've taught myself to do is just on every single rep, I follow the weight down, just to get into the habit of it. So when I get into competition, even if it's a 1 rep, I always fall all the way down. Maybe every now and then I'll drop it if I'm hyped or something. But then when I get into competition and I deadlift, I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah,
I
you
just
just go
automatically
straight
go
back
down.
down. Yeah.
And then also on my deadlift, if I'm going for a 1 rep, one thing I always try to do is to hold it for a second at the top, like it's a competition. So you see what Thomas did just there? How he kind of like locked out and kind of had a 1-2 count. He doesn't do that. I'm sure he doesn't like consciously do it.
Nah.
But that's something you should kind of get into the habit of doing, so that if you PR.
Well, actually, I do that consciously because I focus on because I'm so worried about competition. I focus on just really squeezing and like stressing the fact that I lock my deadlift out.
One thing I do, even if I'm trying to PR, if I don't hold it for a second, I don't count it.
Wow.
So if I lift it and let's say it slips out of my hands and I don't hold it, I'm not like, oh, I guess I got it. There's no doubt about it. I didn't get it.
Treat yourself harder.
So I lift it up and I hold it for a second. If I can hold it, if I can go 1, 2, then it's done. I'm good. Because the judge is never gonna be like watching you for 10 minutes. You're gonna fall asleep with it in your hand and you're gonna be like, okay, put it down now. No. It's gonna be like a 1, 2, and then you drop it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the biggest thing on deadlift really is the lockout, because you cannot be hitching and they will call you so fucking quick.
Yeah.
Like Bart Quan Max shooting his new video where he hits like his 4th rep or whatever. Not saying Bart Quan ain't strong, but you shouldn't. If you train properly, you should almost never hitch on deadlift, because what's gonna happen is you have trained your glutes to the maximum performance, to their maximum, so that you can power straight through. You can just push your hips forward, because a lot of times what happens with a hitch is you cannot push your hips forward, so you end up having to pull up with your body, in
you have to rest it on your legs.
Rest on your legs,
Rest from that position, and that's
something
horrible.
It should never happen, especially in a strict competition like IPF or USAPL. But basically, that's all we gotta say. Hope y'all like them tips. Comment, like, and subscribe. Peace out, YouTube.
Bye, guys.
For these motherfuckers thinking that they fucking with me now. Yeah, fucking with me now. God damn it, now they fucking with me now. Yeah, fucking with me now.
Look at this song.
Alright, I'm looking.
See this?
Ooh,
See this?
that's clean.
You see that?
Ooh.
This is for y'all bitches who don't clean up your weight. Fuck y'all.
Tell him, Bruce.
The Husky Boys gotta come up and fix y'all shit. We don't even work here. We just live here. I'll run this gym.
You gotta-
Me, Thomas, Chris, we run this gym.
You gotta teach them how to do work,
Teach
Bruce.
them. I gotta be daddy for these
You
niggas.
gotta teach them responsibility.
Clean up after your motherfucking self.
Clean up after your motherfucking shit.
Look. Were the Husky Boys here?
Hell no.
Hell no, we don't do shit like that. Imagine if the Husky Boys did shit like that, they'd be like 500 pounds on this bar. Shit would snap in half.
True.
Husky
Preach.
Boys are clean. We the definition of clean.